Another short-term business decision we can look at is the make or buy. In other words, it's an outsourcing decision. Should we continue to make the product, or should we purchase it from someone else? Now, again, we're going to look at the quantitative side, but there's also qualitative issues. Are people going to lose jobs? Is the quality of our product going to decrease? There's those kinds of qualitative issues that have to be looked at as well. So let's just focus on the numbers for now. And we're going to see that JEL Company has prepared the following cost estimates for the manufacture of a special dye-based formula. And they have a production of 10,000 units. So we can see here that they have direct materials, $4 per unit, totaling 40,000. Remember, this is based on 10,000 units. Direct labor of $3 per unit, variable factory overhead of $250, and fixed factory overhead of $6. So based on the 10,000 units, it costs them, including the fixed costs, $1,550 per unit, or $155,000 to make it. So a supplier comes along and offers a manufacturing price of $14 each. So it sounds good on its surface, but we need to do a little bit of analysis. It says 1/2 of the fixed factory overhead, which represents executive salaries, rent, depreciation, etc., is going to continue regardless of the decision. So we have to figure that in. So should the company buy or make the product? So we have to look at the costs. Remember, we also have to think about how it will affect the community as well. So based on 10,000 units, if we make it, we already have the data. We know our total is $40,000. The purchase cost would not affect the make, of course. We know our direct materials are $40,000. Our direct labor will be $30,000. Our variable overhead is $25,000, and we're pulling this right off of here, right? And then our fixed overhead is $60,000. As we would expect, that totals $155,000. Per unit, $4. For direct materials, for direct labor, $3. Variable factory overhead, $250. And fixed factory overhead of $6. Again, coming right from here. So that's going to be a total of $1,550. So you may be thinking, well, why are we just copying it? Well, if we're presenting this to management, they're going to want all the data in one place. So it makes sense to take it from where we have it and put it into this format. So now we have to look at what are the costs if we buy it. Well, getting back to the purchase cost, we said we would be buying at $14 per unit. And if we stay with the 10,000 units, that's going to be $140,000. Now, if there was no fixed costs that were going to continue, this would seem like a good deal, okay, at least from a quantitative perspective. But they're telling us that half of the fixed costs are going to continue. So we had 60, so now we're going to have 30,000 in fixed costs, right, or $3 per unit. So if we decide to outsource or buy, it's actually going to cost us $170,000. Or $17 per unit, right? So it doesn't really make sense to outsource it. Okay? So making the product will be $1.50 per unit cheaper, at least under these circumstances. So even though this is a short, quick analysis, it can tell us a lot, because on the surface it looks like we'd save $1.50 per unit, but actually it's costing us $1.50 more per unit. So in this case, we would stay with making it. Thank you for your attention.